President here. Democrats denied us witnesses. Democrats voted down subpoenas.
Would you agree that Joe Biden was a leading Democratic contender to face President Trump in 2020?
I wouldn't agree with that.
You disagree with it. So, sir, it's your testimony
It's too early.
that President Trump did not view President Biden to be a legitimate contender.
I don't know what President Trump believed or didn't believe, but it's too early.
Sir, as part of your inquiry, did you determine whether President Trump tweeted at all about former Vice President Joe Biden between January and July 25th, and how many times?
I didn't look at Twitter. I try to stay off Twitter lately.
Did you know President Trump tweeted about former Vice President Joe Biden over 25 times between January and July 25th?
No, I didn't look at those tweets.
Did you look at how many times President Trump mentioned Vice President Biden in a speech or rally leading up to the July 25th call?
Hey, President Trump goes to a lot of rallies. He does a lot of tweeting. I think it's pretty difficult to draw too many conclusions from his tweets or his statements at rallies.
Mr. Chairman, parliamentary inquiry.
The gentleman is not recognized for parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, what is
the gentleman is not recognized. The gentleman, Mr. Burke, has the time.
We're going to ignore the rules and allow witnesses to ask the questions, then how many other rules are you just going to disregard?
Gentlemen will suspend. Parliamentary inquiries are not in order at this time.
Well, how about a point of order? This is not appropriate to have a witness be a questioner of somebody that was a witness when he was.
The gentleman will suspend.
It's just wrong.
Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman will refrain from making...
Point of inquiry.
Well, I made a point of order, and you won't rule on it.
I have not heard a point of order. If the gentleman has a stated point...
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Gentleman has a point of order. He'll state your point of order.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
There is no rule nor precedent for anybody being a witness and then getting to come up and question. And so
I have ruled
we would... The point of order is he's inappropriate to be up here asking questions.
That is not a point of order. He's here in accordance with Rule 66.
How much money do you have to give to get to do that?
The gentleman will not cast aspersions on members of staff of the committee. The gentleman,
Mr. Chairman,
it was a legitimate order.
Mr. Burke has the time.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Is Mr. Burke a member of the committee?
Mr. Burke has the time.
Mr. Chairman, I have a legitimate
point of order.
Mr. Burke has the time.
You have to recognize.
Has been designated by me to do this questioning pursuant to Rule 660, House Resolution 660, which is part of the rules of the House.
Didn't you do a soliloquy then?
It is in accordance with the rules of the House, and the gentleman's time will resume. Mr. Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Castor, you were aware that President Trump announced his candidacy for re-election in 2020, and he announced it the month before the July 25th call on June 21st?
Okay.
Did you find that? Did you look at that in your investigation as part of looking at President Trump's intent and what he intended on the July 25th call?
It's been related to me. I don't know when Vice President Biden indicated he was going to run as I sit here today.
So you would agree with me that if the Ukraine announced a corruption investigation of former Vice President Joe Biden, that would hurt his credibility as a candidate. Would you agree with that basic principle, sir?
Well, nobody...
Yes or no, sir? Would you agree with that principle?
Well, I slightly disagree with the predicate, with the premise of your question, because
Chairman,
we're talking about Hunter Biden.
I object to the question that requests opinion evidence.
The gentleman is not recognized. The gentleman has the floor.
Well, I object to the question.
The gentleman,
rule on whether the question's in order or not.
The question is in order. The gentleman will continue.
Why?
The gentleman will continue. It's his time.
Yes or no?
I don't think the record supports that.
It doesn't say, can you look into it? President Trump is not asking him to say that?
I don't think it supports that. I think it's ambiguous.
You can ask, or you can't. Mr. Chairman, I'm not. He can either ask or answer. He can't do both. Mayor, you can ask or answer. You can't do both.
Gentleman is not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order that he's badgering the witness.
He is not. The gentleman will continue.
Chairman is not in order.
That is not a point of order. The committee is in order.
Well, would you rule on my original point of order?
The original point of order was not cognizable and does not necessitate a ruling.
That the lawyer is badgering the witness? We have to have some decorum in here, and you have your rules of decorum, which aren't comporting with everybody else's rules of decorum.
I will say that sharp cross-examination of a witness is not badgering the witness. The gentleman will continue.
Mr. Chairman.
It is if it's by another witness.
No one. The gentleman has the time.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Gentleman will state a point of order.
Section 660. We're supposed to follow the federal rules of evidence. Is that right? No. What is it?
No, it is not correct.
What are the rules? What are the objections that we're able to make?
That is not a point of order.
It is a point of order. There's no rules.
It is not a point of order. The gentleman will continue.
Where's the list of rules?
The gentleman will continue.
Thank you,
Mr.
Chairman.
Then?
The gentleman will continue.
Prosecutor, I know that firsthand. Is this President Trump asking President Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden?
I don't think there's any other way to read the words on the page than to conclude that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Castor, you just invoked Tim Morrison. He was someone on the call, too.